Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. Subscriber review, tell a friend. Very excited for this guest. I'm wearing a Knicks red outlaw hat because I can't find my hats. My blue sports hat that I got from Norm was eaten by my dog Jackson. And I have a red sports hat somewhere, but it's misplaced. So I'm gonna get a couple more hats. But I figured, hey, I have to look sharp, so I'm wearing Nick's hat. Also, I think Nick would think it's kind of funny and unique. I don't know. Anyways, I got a great show today. I'm very excited. Uh, I am in love with my guest, and yeah, it's gonna be great. You've seen her on TV shows like The Invisible Man. You've seen her on Baywatch. I know her from Rat Race and Demolition Man and all this stuff. Um, she was a Penthouse Woman of the Year in 1992, and it's gonna be great. She's also done TV shows like Baywatch, Modern Family. Brandy Ledford is gonna be here via Zoom. So take this moment, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, and enjoy Reza Rifts with Brandy Ledford coming up next. Hi, Brandy Ledford. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me. Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
yeah.
Wait, I
How?
love your hat. What's your hat?
Oh, it says Outlaws Only. Because I do stand-up comedy, and I guess I'm part of this Outlaws group. I don't know.
It's so good. That's a really good
Um.
hat.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Uh, I could get you one, but
I would love one.
oh, all right, cool,
I
cool.
wear it proudly.
We could be outlaws together. It would be great.
I am an outlaw.
Yeah. How was your Halloween?
Halloween was very fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
X.
I ate too much candy, but I
Yeah,
I had fun. I took my son and all his friends out trick-or-treating. We had a big party and it was really fun.
yeah. I noticed trick or treating is a lot like dating, you gotta knock on a lot of doors before you get any candy.
That is a true story.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
That's
excellent.
a good joke.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much. This is so great. I might go back and forth because my mind is like scattered everywhere. But I wanted to start in your early days. I heard you got some cool George Carlin stories.
Oh my gosh, I love that you brought up George Carlin. I loved George.
Yeah. How was that
Yeah.
working with him?
Well, he was a consummate professional, He wasn't at all, he wasn't like his stand-up character. He was
Yeah.
one of the nicer comics I've ever met. Not you aside, every
Oh,
comic I've
okay.
ever met has been kind of a miserable person in real life.
Really?
Not you.
No. I
Um,
mean, just wait till you get to know me more.
Oh, that all okay. Well, anyway, but George was not. George was professional and he was a gentleman and he was kind and he was helpful. And, I was really young and I was just sort of finding my way in that world. And I just found him to be very warm and lovely. He
Yeah.
seemed also like he walked in gratitude. He
Yeah.
just seemed thankful that he had a show.
Well, one of the cool things about you is not everyone can say that they've worked with George Carlin because he was like kind of like he wasn't really an actor. He just did stand up and the stuff he did acting like a lot of people didn't. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of
That is one of the cool things to say about me. I like that.
yeah, that's a notch
People don't
underneath the belt, right?
people don't mention that enough. I like it.
Oh, well, I did my hardcore research. I like to try and stay away from questions that you've probably been asked before, and I like to twist them, I guess.
Thank God. I was thinking, oh, let's do something new.
Oh, okay.
But okay, so do you know the other famous George that I worked with, who is
No,
one of the
Ch-
most
from
famous
from
George?
Cheers,
No, really
uh,
like top, top, top.
the top, George Washington,
George Burns.
George Burns. Oh, yeah, you worked with George Burns. How
I
was
did a
that?
well, I did a photo shoot with George Burns, and I was in a bikini, and George was in a tuxedo, and he said to me, "If I was a woman, I'd want to look just like you."
Oh man,
And
that's
I
pretty good. Yeah.
never forgot. So I love both of my George stories.
If I was George Burns and we were working together and you were in a bikini and I was in a tux, I would say, I got you a ring.
Oh, see, you are funny.
See? Yeah. I wanted to ask because you did modeling and stuff, and then a lot of the penthouse people who do that and they go into acting, they kind of use the penthouse stuff like as a credit to get in the doors. And it seems like you never really did that. You know what I mean? Like you did the modeling, and then you're like, all right, I'm over it now. I want to do acting, and I want to know how is that transition like?
You don't even know that you just created the perfect segue because my photo shoot with George Burns was my Penthouse Pet of the Year cover.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
So well done.
Yeah.
Um, and it's true that I did not use Penthouse as a stepping stone. In fact, I didn't want anyone to know. I was modeling pre-internet days. And so for me, I was on the cover of these magazines and I just wanted it to come and go, you
Yeah.
know, 28 days on the stands, and then it would be done and no one would know about it. Although it kept happening, it never was going to happen after I quit. It was
Yeah.
that was going to be no one would know. And so when I started acting, I just didn't use it at all. In fact, I had managers who would say, because of your past and because of how you look, you need to be taken seriously. So I went to very serious dramatic art school. I wanted to be known as a serious actor. And I just had really good leadership in my life who wanted to make sure that I was um, not seen that way. And so we just chose not to use it as a stepping stone. When the internet hit and I was on a big show, so people were Googling, or I don't know what it was back then, but you started finding out about
It
people.
was it was Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Yes, I remember that. Gosh. So, people started slowly finding out. But it's true. I never used it. I came up with like Anna Nicole Smith and Pam Anderson, and um, I'll never know if it was I don't regret it, but I'll never know if how my career may have taken a different turn had I used it. But it's true. I didn't want to be known for that.
Yeah. And then so your first film was I'm going to say it wrong cuz I have a speech stutter, but Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes. And I wanted to ask you, when you saw that movie, did you think, "All right, who were you rooting for?"
Demolition Man was the first legitimate movie I did. I had shot um, a couple years worth of non-union, low budget, bad B movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
bad B movies? What's it? I think I do bad B movies. What's a
Uh,
bad B movie?
Mine might have been whatever letter in the alphabet relates to
Oh,
like
okay.
girls wearing bikinis with guns, shooting up people in a hot tub type of,
Yeah.
you know. But they were great experience though, and everyone was always really wonderful to work with. But yeah, Demolition Man is the movie that got me my Screen Actors Guild card. So I became a member of the union from that movie, and it was really it's funny though, because of course I was topless in that movie and I had these big,
Yeah.
beautiful new boobs, and but I was, so, and I would play characters like that, but she wasn't a bimbo. She just happened to be getting out of the shower. So you happen to see me getting out of the shower. So I'm not wearing clothes. I
Right.
was in a couple other shows after that I was also playing kind of that character that I was stereotyped as, even though I wasn't using my penthouse fame, or success to get anywhere in Hollywood. I was still being typecast because
Yeah.
of how I looked. So it's interesting.
don't you think Hollywood is just crazy because like I get stereotyped like that. I mean, I don't have amazing, breast or
People want to
whatever.
see you topless too.
No, I get typecast as the best friend or the funny comic relief, and like I'm funny, but I'm not the best friend. You know what I
I know,
mean?
but
So
isn't that what you want?
not really. I
Oh,
don't, to be honest, I don't really like acting. Like I said, the movies I've done, I've kind of had horrible experiences doing it, and I don't even take pride in my movies.
okay. Well,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
like I just
I'm
want to
glad
make
you
people
found some.
laugh.
Well,
Yeah.
so far you've made me laugh more times than anyone else has today. So
Oh, you're very sweet. I wanted to ask you when you did Fast Truck, was that when you got that show, was that the moment you thought, all right, now I'm an actress and like now I could be on a show and really get in debt in character and stuff?
you ask literally the best questions. Wow.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you've done research, that's for sure, because yes, actually, gosh, I love that question. Yes, fast track, I had worked a lot up until fast track, but never really felt like, okay, here, this is it. And in fact, on fast track, it was the first audition I had after I'd had my baby. So I think he was 15 months old or 18 months old, and I was ready to go back to work. And I
Uh-huh.
called up my agent and I said, okay, I'm ready to go back. And it was the first audition I had. And I want to say it was even a self tape, which we weren't doing back then, but it was, well, I guess what we did. Oh, because I was in Vancouver and that was shooting in Toronto. I
Okay.
got it. And I had to move to Toronto and it was like, yes, let's go, and I packed up my family and we went. And I was working with incredible writers, Gary Markowitz, and it was a show that was so well directed by TJ Scott, the pilot, and subsequent episodes, and Keith Carradine, the consummate professional, incredible co-star to work with, Duncan Regehr, because they were such actors, and
Uh,
to be the female star of such a male-driven show, but I was playing a lawyer, and I was allowed to be beautiful, but I was also allowed to be smart
yeah.
and sexy, and I got to have a real range of emotions, and gosh, I loved it. I loved every second of that show, and the fun. It was like race cars, and we got to be, film our studio was actually on an old race car NASCAR lot. It was incredible. Yeah.
So my second question on Fast Truck was how many speeding tickets did you get off? Yeah.
If only. I always get the cops that are like, "Oh, a pretty girl stood me up in high school. I'm going to make you pay for it."
Oh my gosh, yeah. But no, that's cool that Keith was cool to you. And it's my experience, most Keiths are really cool.
Yeah, I think Keiths are really cool.
Oh,
I,
excellent.
I have a good experience with all Keiths.
All right, cool. That's what I'm talking about. And then you did Rodney Dangerfield movie, My Five Wives, and I wanted to ask what was that? Because Rodney Dangerfield is like one of my favorite stand-up comics, and like that's kind of how I like Dangerfield.
Well, Rodney was an incredible part of my life, actually.
Really? He was your friend?
Not only my friend, he was married to my dearest friend on earth. So when I was 11, my mom had a dear friend, and I met this woman, and she and I bonded quickly. And she's still in my life today, and she's Rodney Dangerfield's widow.
Oh,
And
wow.
so when they were married, they had asked me to be on My Five Wives, and it was such an incredible experience to get to work with my friend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Rodney was so lovely, and he was also another comic that wasn't really miserable in person. Um,
That was his act, though.
that was
Like,
his act, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he was the love of Joan's life, and Joan Dangerfield is she's more than family, she's more than friends. She's just like my soulmate. And yeah, so that's how I knew Rodney. In fact, when I got pregnant for the first time, I called Joan, but Rodney answered.
Oh,
And I,
wow.
hello, hi, Brandy. And I said, Rodney, I really need to speak to Joan. And he said, are you okay? And I said, well, I'm pregnant. And he said, I'll get Joan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That would have been funny if he said it wasn't my, it's not for me,
That
right?
would have been so good.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I know the guy who wrote that movie. His name's Harry Basil, and
Harry, yeah.
he was like Rodney's opening act, and he's a guy who thinks I'm the least funny person in the world.
Oh,
So
was that right?
he never books me. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, I loved Rodney. That was great. That's so
I
cool that he was your
Yeah.
best friend. Or yeah,
He wasn't my best friend, but he was
she
married.
was your best friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is my best friend, and they were married for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that that's cool because he's also like an inspiration where like because he really didn't get his big break until he was like, in his late 50s. You know what I mean? So like it shows you that in this business you could struggle forever and you never know when your break's gonna come. Where like now people want their breaks immediately, you know?
Right. I love that. And I love knowing that, being reminded of that because, I'm in my late 50s. And although I had a really successful career, I like that I never give up. And I think
Yeah.
people who got their overnight success in their late 50s have worked their butts off for 40 years, typically. And no one got it for not trying. They just
Yeah.
didn't give up, and they stuck with their dream.
Yeah. I think another cool thing about you too is like because I read that you're still sober and stuff and like that's pretty incredible in this business because it's about like partying and all that stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's a miracle. Every day I thank God that I'm still sober for sure.
Yeah.
And not just because of the Hollywood lifestyle, but just life in general, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I wanted to ask you about Zebra's Lounge because my friend Christy Swanson was in it and then you're the second star to her. So like I wanted to ask you like do you know a lot about zebras?
I don't know a lot about zebras,
Uh,
actually, but I loved Zebra Lounge. I thought that was one of the more fun shows to ever, ever, ever be part of. That movie was so fun. I loved working with everyone on it. Yeah, it was pretty sexy, kind
yeah.
of a very sexy film.
Oh
For
yeah.
HBO, and Carrie Scoglin was the director of that, and she was phenomenal to work with. And Stephen Baldwin, who is also sober, he and I would have little AA meetings in his trailer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, which was really cool. And Christy, bless her, she was great in the movie.
Yeah, Christy's one of my good friends.
Tell her hi.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, like, do you get anxiety like when you're like the star of a show because like or a movie because you're like, ah, it all depends on me, or like, do you not really care about it?
Neither. I don't think of it as in it all depends on me because it's such a collaborative effort, but I do
R-
get excited when I'm the star of a movie or a show. And if I'm number one on the call sheet, that's not a look at it like a responsibility. I want to be great whether I'm number one on the call sheet or number 13 on the call sheet. I give
Uh,
it my 100% no matter what.
uh,
But it is exciting. It's a little more stressful in terms of um, wanting to earn that and deserve it and keep it, you know,
uh,
be like
it,
worthy of that. I've been the pinch hitter many times on TV series, and it's because someone got let go of. In fact, even in Demolition Man, when I filmed Demolition Man, the Sandy Bullock character was actually played by Lori Petty. And then she
really?
fired and they had to reshoot all her scenes for Sandra Bullock with Sandra Bullock. So I mean, and I've been the Sandy Bullock. I've been the pinch hitter. So I know that people get fired. So if I'm number one on the call sheet or, I want to earn that. I want to be worthy of that.
Yeah. And then Sandra Bullock couldn't make up her mind if she wants Sylvester Stallone or Wesley Snipes to win.
Right.
Uh, But no, like like for example, separate ways, when you're filming, you're the star and stuff, and then you're working with Pony Boy, you don't just say, you know,
Uh-huh.
you don't say, "Hey, this is," you know what I mean? Like because like that would just stress me out if I was the star or something because everyone relies on it, you know what I
No,
mean?
you'd love it. That's what you want. But I will tell you, that particular movie I was one of the stars of the TV show Invisible Man. And we were filming
Yeah.
that in San Diego, and I got Separate Ways offered to me in the middle of me filming Invisible Man, and they're shooting Separate Ways in Burbank. So I had to take the production had to work out that I could shoot the movie at Separate Ways at the same time I was shooting the episodes for Invisible Man,
Yeah.
which was,
It was tough.
like the dream come true. Like, oh my God, my TV series has to let me go to shoot a movie. Like, what's better than that? It wasn't the stressful part of that was just like I had to then get back to San Diego to keep filming my scenes for my TV series that I'm under contract for. But I get to
Uh,
go to Burbank to go shoot this movie I'm starring in with Pony Boy. Like, that is every actor's dream come true. And I don't think I realized at the time how lucky that was and how successful I became because I measure, right? Whatever metric you measure yourself up against, you're going
mhm.
to feel more than or less than or as good, right? And so when you tell me this and I remember like that actually what happened in my life blows my mind. I had that great opportunity.
Uh, well, I mean, speaking of the Invisible Man, this question kind of reflects to that because there used to be a time where like if you did a TV
Yeah.
show and you were a TV star, you were a
Yeah.
TV star. But if you did movies, you were a movie star, and it was very like taboo if you switched. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And I'll tell you what, that was never my philosophy. I love to work. And I was on a TV show and I was on movies and I would do anything. I love to work. I love to audition. I would have been a host. I don't care. I love it all. I was never snobby about that, but I understand that that was the way. And it was the way before the early 90s. And it was really sort of the old contract stars days in the 50s.
Uh,
But I have friends, and I won't name their names, who came up in TV, but then they end up getting really big movie roles. And so they were going to be on the movies and never in TV. And I said to one of them once, this was late 90s, or maybe early 2000s, but I said, there's this audition for this amazing TV show, and I think you'd be great for it. And she was like, we're going to stick with movies. To this day, she's not only in reality shows, but she's doing, well, I won't say it, but it's really like, why did you put yourself in that box? I know we all want to be movie stars, but like, don't you just want to work and enjoy working in this business?
Yeah.
Like, get a TV show, get a movie, get them both at the same time, is what I say.
Yeah, that's the goal, you know what I mean? Because I never really understood that because, I've never done TV stuff. I've just done small parts in really bad movies. But my dream is to have my own sitcom, but now sitcoms are dead. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I wanted to ask you too about Rat Race because you had the best scene working with Dave Thomas, and I wanted to ask like, what was that like? Did he improv that on the spot, or was that in the script and that throw you off for a loop?
Dave, Dave was so fun to work with. I loved that. Yeah, there was a lot of improv. Their script was really well written though, so there was a lot you could just stay on script and it could be incredibly funny and perfect too. But yeah, all of them, every single
Uh,
one of everyone did some riffing for sure.
uh, I interviewed Dave about that movie, and he said the only reason why he took it is because he got to high five you.
Aw.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah.
Dave.
But no, Rat Race is probably one of the funniest movies of all time. Like I would argue it's probably funnier than The Hangover.
Wow.
Ah,
Do you know it's a remake? It's like sort of a runoff of It's a Mad Mad
Mad Mad
World.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then did you also know that on Fast Track, the show I was in, that was written by Gary Markowitz, who is the stepson to Larry Gelbart. Larry Gelbart, I believe, was one of the original writers on It's a Mad World.
Whoa, you got like a
Pretty
little
sure.
6 degrees of brandy in you,
It's
right?
some good trivia right there, if I'm right. I'm pretty sure that's correct. But yeah, Rat Race was really fun. And Jerry Zucker was an incredible director and he was a good mentor for me. I was going through some personal stuff at the time that was tough. And he was wonderful. Everyone could, and I say this all the time because it's just so true. Rowan Atkinson was, and I think he's one of the funniest men on earth.
Right.
He was such a gentleman in that movie to me. He was humble and kind and a gentleman and sweet, and he's just one of my favorite actors to ever work with. It's probably my favorite. My favorite actor I've ever worked with is Rowan Atkinson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I didn't even have any scenes with him. We were just in that one big finale at the end,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I thought you stole the bag from him when he was asleep.
Well, yes, but I mean, we didn't have any like acting scenes together.
I wanted to ask you if you did win that $2 million, what would you have done with it?
Oh gosh, how much is that in today's money?
I don't know. It's
Um, I
probably not a
I
lot.
probably would have donated some for sure. I would have tithed some. I probably would have bought a new car, knowing me.
Uh,
Might have helped my, I bought, I like to buy people things. I like to give people, I like to share. So probably would have helped my kid, probably would have helped my mom.
uh, I thought you were going to say, "Oh, I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of Pepto-Bismol."
See, if I was funny like you, I would have said that.
Oh, I think you're very funny, Brandy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, when you were growing up, like, what made you think, okay, I want to go in this industry? Like, there had to be something where you got bit by the bug or something, whether modeling or acting, you know?
No, actually, to be honest, I was a dancer before I never wanted to be a model. I fell into that. But prior to that, when I was a kid, little kid, I wanted to be a dancer. I was a dancer, and I just loved performing. I loved stage shows and learning a craft that I was good at, and I loved the applause, and I loved the energy. I loved the backstage stuff. I loved the whole idea of being a performer. Uh,
Yeah,
but that wasn't really a sustainable option for me to become a dancer, and like that wasn't going to be my American dream.
right.
And so, but I knew I loved performing, and it wasn't, it was sort of like I would sit in my bathroom when I was a little girl and I would read the back of like my shampoo bottle as if I was performing for a commercial.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
that'd be great. I
Yeah.
used to do that too. I used to like,
You did?
not, I don't know if it was like shampoo, but like cactus.
Whatever, like, yeah.
Yeah, like Cactus Cooler. Like I remember like when I first started comedy, I always wanted to be the spokesman for Cactus Cooler, and I don't even like Cactus Cooler. I just never saw a Cactus Cooler commercial in my life. You know what I mean? So I thought it'd be
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I was modeling, that wasn't performing, but I just knew that that wasn't what I wanted to do. And then I tracked it back to, well, what do you want to do? And it was always acting. It was just
Uh,
always acting. And so, yeah, I loved it.
is it hard for you when you go on auditions and stuff? Because, just
Is
how
what part?
just auditions. Is it hard for you?
No, I love auditioning. I was just having this conversation with Brandy Roderick, my co-host. Well, she was on Baywatch. Um, uh, no, I love auditioning. I love auditioning so much because I get to do what I love.
Uh,
So the part where you don't get the part really always sucks. But the actual reading a script, breaking down a character, understanding all the layers and the nuances of that character, of the author's intent, all the work that I have put into 35 years of this career that I learned how to do in dramatic art school. When I have an audition, I get to do all those things that I love.
uh,
And I get to be on camera and I get to be seen and I get to have a chance to continue to do the job that I believe I was born to do and that I love to do. And I still have um, the ability to do it. So I don't hate auditioning. I actually have a script to read later today. I have an audition tomorrow and it's really fun and it's really
oh.
well written. And I get to just like put my hooks in it tonight and work on it. And no, it's a gift. It's a huge gift. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Would you rather audition like what's your genre that you prefer? Comedy or like drama or like what is something like you're like, I can't wait to audition for this.
Well, I really don't think I'm funny.
I
So
disagree. I think you're very funny.
everyone says that, but thank
Uh,
you. But
uh,
but so comedy's harder for me. But I have been funny in the last couple. I did I auditioned for this really, really fun Will Ferrell golf. He has a new show coming out about golf.
Yeah.
And I was really funny in that. But anyway, my favorite thing, but I didn't get it because they gave it to a friend of the writer. That's the part that I hate.
Well, that's because they know how to play golf.
Maybe. um, I love drama. I love something really, really honest and real. So I love to get into real relationship dilemmas in a role. That to me is where the meat is. Like that's the good meat of a part when you can be really authentically hurt or in some way tortured because you can't have something in a relationship. You know, it's just something in that way that seems powerful. But my ultimate ideal role that I one day dream about doing is action star. So Lara
Ah,
Lara Croft, if I back in the day, I would have done Lara Croft. I would have been so happy. I'd be happy to be an Avenger. I'd be happy to be DC. I don't care who, Wonder Woman. Like those to me, I grew up and wanted to be the Bionic Woman.
yeah.
Jamie Summers and um, what was Wonder Woman's real name? Not Linda Carter. I mean
It
like
was, I don't,
Diana. Diana.
Diana Prince, right? Or something
Diana
like.
Prince and Jamie Summers were my heroes. Like, so for me, and I love dance. So when you're an action star, when you do action, there's a lot of choreography with the fight scenes. And so um, that
It's
would be,
like a dance, yeah,
it's like a dance.
because
Yeah.
uh,
So that would be ultimate for me to be in an action movie these days. I'd love to like play like Florence Pugh does Black Widow's sister in the new Avengers in the Thunderbolts. Like I could come play her mom, but like
yeah.
gas.
I think we should write an action movie for you.
Let's do it.
I think that would be great, you know?
That would be
Like
ideal.
yeah, have you ever like because just by talking to you and you saying that, like I was thinking, oh, you could be a Bond girl too. Have you ever auditioned for Bond?
I did. I auditioned for The World Is Not Enough. And
Oh
my
my
really,
God.
really, really good friend Denise Richards got it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the one I didn't see.
Yeah.
I
Um, I don't know if I would have, I don't know. Sometimes when you don't get a role and then you watch the movie later, you're like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that. Or I can
Oh,
see
for
why that,
sure.
yeah. Or I can see why that wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have done a good job and I couldn't have handled some of that. So,
See, maybe this is the stand-up comedian in me, but I auditioned for this really big film when I was like 15 or 16. You've probably heard of it, and I don't really want to say it because I'm kind of embarrassed by the audition. But I went so far that I went to the chemistry test.
oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got to make out with this big, huge star who was in it. You know, she was in The Parent Trap and she's done all these other things. You know what I mean? You probably know who it is. I don't want to say it. But
Hmm.
I remember when I kissed her, it did not, like, I had no chemistry with her. And I thought she was a bad kisser, but she probably thought I was a bad kisser. Maybe that's why I didn't get it. You know, I don't want to say the movie. But I remember I watched the movie and I thought, this movie really sucks. So, like,
Yeah.
so I was
Yes.
like, ah, thank God. But it could have
Yes.
totally changed my entire life. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, but that's right. That has happened to me almost all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like one of those blessings in disguises, I
I'll
think.
tell you another movie that happened. I wasn't, this is a different feeling, but I auditioned for The Mask and came really close to getting it. And then Cameron Diaz got it. And she was better than I was. She did stuff I could not have done. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't have had those instincts. So in that case, of course, they made the right decision, but also I was really glad for her because she was doing, I wouldn't have done those things. I would have been one of the people that got off, replaced by Cameron Diaz. Like she was really, really great in that. And I couldn't have done those things. So it works out.
Well, you gotta look on the bright side of you not getting it because if you did get that, you'd have to kiss Peter Green. So, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's a good bright side.
Uh, All right, so I got five more questions. I want to respect your time, but these are fast questions. Can I ask these real fast?
I'll answer them fast.
Okay, cool. I wanted to ask you, what is your biggest fear as an actress when you first started? Do you still have that fear today?
My biggest fear when I first started was not being taken seriously. And I do not have that fear today.
Oh, excellent. Cool. And then the second question is, if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, knowing everything you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Ooh. Um, spend more time chasing your dream than boys.
Oh, you chased a lot of boys?
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. That's a great answer. I thought for sure you were going to say if Keith Reza asks you to do his podcast,
Say no.
say no.
No,
uh,
we have established I have a good batting average with Keith's.
oh yeah, yeah, excellent. We did do that. And then my third question is, if you were an ice cream flavor like a Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and you could name yourself whatever you want, what would you call yourself, and what kind of ice cream would you be?
Brandy Licious, cherry and vanilla.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I would get some, go to the grocery store, get some Brandy Licious, cherry vanilla. I like that. And then I wanted to ask you, you produced a movie that had Ryan Reynolds in it, so you have the hookups. So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you if you could produce a movie today, what type of movie would you want to produce?
Action.
Action?
But kind of like mixed with live action, mixed with probably anime. I would do like a multiverse situation.
Oh,
Yeah. But
excellent.
there would be
Cool.
sex in it and action. And it would be rated R and it would be really fun.
There wouldn't be sex or there would be
There
sex?
would be sex.
Do you think?
Not you're not seeing the sex. I'm just saying like sexy, like not
Oh
for
yeah,
kids, like an adult animated. Not
yeah.
adult like X-rated. I mean just like rated R, but good. Like there's not enough sex in action movies.
I think not anymore. I think there used to be, and then like they changed it, and then like now,
I would change
yeah,
it back.
yeah,
Everything needs to go back.
yeah. Everything needs to go back to sex, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, and then this question has nothing to do with you, but I thought it was very interesting. I was watching a documentary about the pyramids, and like Stonehenge and like all these the tombs, the mummy tombs and stuff. And the reality is we have no clue how they were made. So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, how do you think these things were made?
Well, aliens, obviously.
Oh, excellent. That's a great.
No,
Yeah.
there's like a pulley. Like I did just see something that they're doing a thing where they're showing AI. So they're showing all these men with pulley. They've created a pulley system that, and probably took them 144 years, but eventually they pulled up one rock at a time. I think those pyramids were built the way I build my sobriety, one step at a time.
Oh, that's a good answer. I wish I could say that answer, but I have this random weird theory. Would you like to hear it?
Desperately.
Okay. So in like 5,000 years from today, Brandy, right? Human species come up with this thing called time machines, right? And what they do is they go in the time machine and they travel all the way back in the past and they build all these miraculous things. And then they go back to the future and they look at their crystal ball and they're just laughing at us because we don't know how the fuck this happened. It's the best joke ever.
All right. I like it.
Ah, well, Brandy, where can the folks at home follow and support you? Do you have Cameo or Twitter or something like that?
Not Cameo.
Oh,
Passes. So passes.com/Brandy Ledford. Instagram, Brandy Ledford. I'm on X, Twitter, Brandy L. Ledford. Um, and yeah, I would say passes is my
well,
platform that I'd love to have people come and get a little bit more connected with.
what is Passes? I don't know about Passes.
It's a social media platform where we can connect directly with fans, and I don't answer DMs so much on Instagram. It's a subscription-based platform, so when you subscribe, you get a lot more one-on-one with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I tried to get in your DMs, and then like my publicist said she probably won't respond because she's married. And I was like,
I,
oh,
I no, it's I don't respond to DMs. I barely read them. But
uh,
I like a subscription-based platform because it's a way to keep me engaged and you know,
yeah.
happy.
Well, well, Brandy, speaking of happy, you made me happy just by talking to you for, thanks for being my best friend for 40 minutes. And I really hope you get that role that you want, that action role.
Thank
And, I wish you nothing but the best. I think you're a real treat. And, thank you so much for doing my podcast.
Thank you, Keith. It was a real pleasure meeting you. You're a gem and a delight
Oh,
and super funny.
oh, I thank you so much. If you're ever in the Los Angeles area and you want to see stand-up comedy, I'll give you tickets.
Oh my God, where do you perform?
I all over. I tour with TJ Miller and
Oh,
yeah, so we're all over the I used to tour with Norm Macdonald, but then he died.
yeah, he died.
And I would love to tour with Harry Basil, but he just does not like me.
Well, you're in good with TJ.
Ah,
And thank you again. It was a
of course. Well, have a great day and Air
you.
5 and we'll see you later.
Take care.
All right. All
Bye.
right, guys. That was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll see you guys next week on Reza Rifts.
God bless.